Welcome back to day 19 of Advent of Tess. Today we're doing closed triangle linked flowers. This is working off of a naming convention that I did for the open version, and now, well, here we're a little stuck with it. But what I like in this pattern is that we see these swirls, and if there were repeats, it would be very densely packed with twists, with very few spaces, just that one grid triangle. That would be a single layer. So one of these days I'll do a full version of this. Who knows, it might even be done by the time that you see this video. And so all the twists are on the same side, none of them are on the back, which makes this really interesting little star pattern here. And we're gonna jump right in. So we'll start on the front with our closed hexagon twist. The beginning of this is going to be very much like yesterday's pattern. And I'm going to be working this into shape, going around and around. And once I've got that closed hexagon set and ready, I'm gonna grab it, twist it around. Looks a little mangled, and that is fine, because once I smooth it out, I'll have a nice, pretty hexagon. I'll check the back. Everything looks good. So I'll use my bone folder to get out any of those last few crumples. Next up, just like yesterday, we're going to fold our hexagon in half and take one of the pleats with it. Then we're going to find a point 2 grid spacings from the corner of our hexagon. And we're working at one spacing closer than tube spacing. So we've got this valley from where we lifted the pleat, then another valley one spacing out from that, and the mountain one spacing from our new valley. And this is again going to be a closed twist. And we'll bring that into being and squash it, then flip our pleat back up, move over to the next pleat, fold our hexagon in half, and continue on. Again, this closed triangle is centered 2 spacings from the corner of our hexagon. And once our twist is in place, we'll open back out, go to the next pleat, fold our hexagon in half to make space for us to put in our new triangle twist. And my brain is playing a few tricks on me today. So that is all well and good, but what happens if we try to open this up for the rhombus? If we go in and dig this open, that's a lot of digging. A lot of stuff kind of came out. But we can go ahead and get a rhombus into place there. And since we did the unfriendly overlap from the perspective of this side, we didn't even need to change any mountains to make it happen. So I'll go ahead and do that for the second one too. I'm opening the pleat that went through second, which is this one, so I can open the pleat that went through first. I'm making sure that I have my mountains and valleys on the correct grid lines coming from the center. putting in that closed rhombus. And then I actually want to work in the opposite direction for this because my rhombi are so close and on the same side. So instead of flipping the long pleat to fold the hexagon in half, I'm going to flip the way that folds the latest triangle in half, then set the next triangle on top, again 2 spacings out. And before I even open my hexagon back up, I'm going to open the pleat overlap and set up the rhombus. Once that rhombus is set in place, I'll open my hexagon back out, rotate around, fold my new triangle in half along with the hexagon, go 2 spacings out from the hexagon, set up my closed triangle, make sure that hexagon stays in half. As I squash my triangle, and then go ahead and fold the new rhombus on the overlap before I open up my hexagon again. Last one, I'm going to split my triangle in half, set up my new triangle, and this has one of each pleat overlap, the friendly, where it's easy to open and see the rhombus, and the unfriendly, where we need to really dig stuff out, but then the mountains are in the right places. And squash. So that's closed triangle linked flowers. I hope you enjoyed, and the next 2 days we'll get to see basically the repeat of yesterday and today, but with open triangles. So I hope you'll join me for that. We'll have open triangles gapped and open triangle linked flowers. So that's what's coming up. And we have just a week left in Advent of Tess. There's this one and 6 more. So I hope you're enjoying yourselves. It's gonna stay pretty dense, but it's not really gonna get harder. So happy folding, and I will see you all tomorrow.